Oh, man, Charlamagne. Who you giving Donkey the day to now?
You know, Fridays are usually the people's donkey, but I need to talk to y'all about something this morning. Donkey of the day for Friday, July 18th, goes to Paramount and CBS as a staff, TV network, and mother effing crew. Now, let the record show I've had a lot of success, okay, with Paramount over the years. I've been rocking with them since 2013, 2014, when they was Viacom. Okay, from Guy Code to all my late-night talk shows, Charlamagne and Friends, Uncommon Sense, Hell of a Week, God's Honest Truth, whatever it was called, they have all been with Viacom and Paramount. Okay, I make a lot of appearances on The Daily Show. In fact, I'll be on next week. All right, that's Paramount. So, yes, they have provided me a lot of opportunity. And still do. But Donkey of the Day does not discriminate. Not to mention, right is right and wrong is wrong. And what I witnessed yesterday is absolutely wrong. Now, if you haven't heard, my guy, South Carolina brethren Stephen Colbert, informed his audience that CBS has canceled The Late Show. Okay, they canceled The Late Show. And this comes 3 days after him criticizing the network over their settlement. Their $16 million settlement with Donald Trump. But yes, starting in May of 2026, The Late Show will be canceled. Let's go to NBC News for the report, please.
Some breaking news here in the entertainment world. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert ending next year, with CBS retiring the late night franchise. Colbert taking to social media to announce it. Here it is.
I want to let you know something that I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May.
CBS said the decision was purely financial, quote, against a challenging backdrop in late night. It is not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount. It's worth noting Colbert has been critical of CBS's parent company, Paramount's decision to settle a lawsuit with President Trump. The show topped the ratings for the 11:30 slot. Stephen Colbert has hosted The Late Show for 9 years now.
Purely a financial decision, huh? Dear Paramount, lying about why you got rid of Colbert sounds like people in the Trump administration lying about why they wouldn't release the Epstein files. Okay, just complete foolishness and nonsense. Now, the announcement of The Late Show's cancellation, as I said, follows Colbert's criticism of a settlement between President Donald Trump and Paramount Global, which is CBS's parent company. Okay, Paramount paid Trump $16 million to settle a lawsuit over edits to an October 2024 interview that CBS's 60 Minutes did with Kamala Harris. Okay, Colbert, just like Jon Stewart, has rightfully criticized this move. He called this settlement a big fat bribe. Let's listen to him address it on the Colbert Show from a few days ago.
My parent corporation, Paramount, paid Donald Trump a $16 million settlement over his 60 Minutes lawsuit. As someone who has always been a proud employee of this network, I'm offended. And I don't know if anything will ever repair my trust in this company. But just taking a stab at it, I'd say $16 million would help. This settlement is for a nuisance lawsuit Trump filed claiming that 60 Minutes deceptively edited their interview with then-candidate Kamala Harris last fall. Paramount knows they could have easily fought it because, in their own words, the lawsuit was completely without merit. Unlike the payoffs from ABC and Twitter, Paramount settlement did not include an apology. Instead, that's good. Instead, the corporation released a statement where they said, "You may take our money, but you will never take our dignity. You may, however, purchase our dignity for the low, low price of $16 million. We need the cash." Now, I believe this kind of complicated financial settlement with a sitting government official has a technical name in legal circles. It's big fat bribe. Because this all comes as Paramount's owners are trying to get the Trump administration to approve the sale of our network to a new owner, Skydance. And some of the TV typers out there are blogging that once Skydance gets CBS, the new owner's desire to please Trump could put pressure on late-night host and frequent Trump critic Stephen Colbert. Okay. But how are they going to put pressure on Stephen Colbert if they can't find him?
It's so obvious that Paramount is doing this to appease Donald Trump. Let's not do this stupid thing we do in the media where we ask answers, okay? Don't say things like, was this politically driven by Donald Trump? Come on, of course it was. Paramount needs to appease Trump so this merger with Skydance and Paramount can happen. Paramount paid Trump $16 million for essentially no reason. Okay, the FCC launched an investigation into CBS after Trump's claims of bias editing, even though CBS released full transcripts to prove accuracy, and most folks who know a thing or two about legal issues said that the lawsuit brought by Donald Trump against Paramount should have been dismissed on First Amendment grounds. But let's call it what it is. Paramount is looking for FCC approval for its Skydance merger. Trump can block that if he wants to. So canceling Colbert is an obvious move to appease Donald Trump. And I need to tell y'all something. If you don't think we are under a regime with an authoritarian strategy, then you are bugging. This is textbook authoritarian rule. Target your critic, centralize power in a few hands, intimidate through punishment or removal. And you know what that usually does? Shuts people the F up, okay? Tightens control over public discourse, sends a message to all media outlets that criticism of Trump could cost you access, approval, editorial control, all your job. This is what authoritarian regimes do. They weaponize legal systems to punish dissent and control messaging. What happened with Paramount and Trump is intimidation tactics disguised as legitimate legal action. I thought this was the administration that didn't believe in censorship. I thought this was the administration that believed in free speech. They do until you criticize them. Paramount and CBS should be ashamed of themselves, and you can't trust anything you see on Paramount, CBS moving forward. Did y'all even think about how this will impact any of your news programming? We the people already don't trust most news outlets in America, which is why the podcast and online business is booming, because people with no corporate connections, no corporate interests are able to speak freely, even though they may be really misinformed. But that's where people are going, and that's who people are trusting, because even though it might be misinformation, it feels more honest, okay? We can't trust any news or opinion programming that comes from Paramount now. They are obviously compromised. Well, let me take that back. One program. You can still trust The Daily Show, but after seeing what happened with Colbert, how do we know the same thing won't happen to the great Jon Stewart and the gang at The Daily Show? Do you think Jon Stewart, who should run for president in 2028, do you think he's going to stop criticizing Paramount for settling with Trump? Huh? Do you think he's going to have nothing to say about his friend Stephen Colbert being let go? What are you going to do, Paramount? Are you going to bend the knee to authoritarian strategy again and suppress another outspoken critic of Trump? I know. Paramount has an $8 billion merger with Skydance looming, and y'all don't want Trump to stop it. But is it worth? Okay? Is it worth losing all credibility and all trust with your audience in the process? The answer to that should be no. I just want y'all to know, when the highest rated show in late night is ended despite strong ratings, especially right after political criticism, it becomes a warning, okay? It becomes a warning. Speak out and we will silence you. That is textbook authoritarian strategy, okay? Because it deters further criticism through the fear of retaliation, okay? Make America North Korea. Make America China, make America Russia. That's where we are if we live in a country where there is strategic silence within corporate or media power structures to limit dissent, okay? When that happens, well, it's already happened, we are fully under authoritarian rule, okay? This is not just a media story. It's a free speech funeral in slow motion. Paramount cut a $16 million check to Donald Trump so they can get their merger approved and keep the FCC off their backs. That's not business. That's extortion dressed up in a suit and tie. That's hush money for the truth. Stephen Colbert gets his show canceled after calling out the deal. That's not coincidence. That's consequence. That's what happens when you speak truth to power in a country where the power don't want to hear the truth. Please let Remy Ma give CBS Paramount the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
Now, I'm supposed to be on The Daily Show next week. If that changes, I'll let y'all know. Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.